Today topic is OSI layer. OSI means Open System Interconnection. And now we are going to see what is meant by OSI. So OSI is one of the first organization to formally define a common way to connect computers. It is called as Open System Interconnection and it is having a 7 layer of standard and it does not specify the communication standard or protocol to be used to perform networking tasks. And OSI provides some services. So first thing is provide peer-to-peer logical services with layer physical implementation, and then it provides standard for communication between the system and defines point of interconnection for the exchange of information between the system, and each layer should perform a well-defined function, narrows the option in order to increase the ability to communicate without expensive convention and translation between the product. And then we are having some principles also in OSA model. So it is a 7 layer architecture, I already told that. So do not create so many layers as to make the system engineering task of describing and integrating the layer more difficult than necessary. And then we need to create a boundary at a point where the description of service can be small and the number of interrelation across the boundary are minimized and collect similar functions into the same layer. We need to select the boundaries at the point which past experience has demonstrated to be successful. This is the evaluation of layer. So we are having a hardware as well as software combination here, and then we can use the connection between a copper wire or radio link wire. So here hardware and software is mentioned as we are having upper layer and lower layer. Upper layer is called as a hardware layer and lower layer is called as a software layer here. And then now we are going to see 7 types of layers here. So first one is application layer, second one is data link layer, third one is network layer, fourth one is transport layer, fifth one session, presentation layer, and then application layer. Physical layer is full and full based on binary transmission. Binary transmission means wires, connectors, voltages, and then data rates. So it will be connected through a physical medium only. Physical layer is the lowest layer of the OSI model. Physical layer coordinates a function required to transmit a bit stream over a communication channel. It deals with electrical as well as mechanical specification of interface and transmission media. It also deals with procedures, functions required for transmission. And then in this, we are having 4 types of function. So first one is physical characteristics of interfaces and media. Second one, representation of bit. And the third one is data rate. And then fourth one is synchronization of bit. So in physical characteristics of interface and media, the design issue of physical layer consider the characteristics of interface. Representation of bit means physical layer encode the bit stream into electrical or optical signal. Data rate means it defines the duration of the bit which is called as a data rate. And then synchronization means it will synchronizing the clocks at sender and receiver side. So on the next one, we are going to start at the application layer. So application layer means network process to the application is called as a application layer here. And then we are going to say that it is responsible for accessing the network by the user. It provides user interface and other supporting services such as email, remote file, and then transfer, sharing database, and then message handling, and then directory services are provided by application layer only. And the function of application layer is network virtual terminal, and then file transfer access and management FTAM, and then file services, mail services, and then directory services. Next one is presentation layer. So in presentation layer, we are going to see how the data will be represented here. So data representation means here we can say that we are deal with syntax and semantics of information being exchanged here. So exchange. So we are having some functions in presentation layer. So that is first one is translation. Second one is encryption. Third one is compression. So translation means different computers are different encoding system. The presentation layer maintains interoperability between the two encoding systems. And then encryption is transforming, sending information to other form to ensure privacy while transmission. Decryption is a reverse process here. And then we are having a compression state. So compression is a technique of reducing number of bits required to represent the data. So that is it is nothing but a data structure concept only. And the next one is session layer. So it is an inter-host communication, and then session layer is a networking dialog controller. It establishes and synchronizes the interaction between communication system, and then we are having a lot of functions of session. First one is a dialog control. Communication between two processes takes place in either off duplex or full duplex mode. The session layer manages dialog control. For this, communication is called as a dialog control. And then synchronization means session layer adds synchronization point into stream of data. And the next one is transport layer. So this is the main part of the layer. The transport layer is responsible for delivering of message from one process to another. The network does not, does the host to destination delivery of individual packets considering it as independent packet. But transport layer ensure that the whole message arrives intact in order to the error control and process control. So we are having functions in transport layer. First one is port addressing, and then another one is segmentation and reassembly, and then connection control, flow control, and then error control. Next one is network layer. So it is used mainly used for address and finding the best path. So that we are using a network layer here. So what is the use of network layer means the network layer is responsible for the delivery of packet from the source to the destination. It shows the network layer. And then functions means logical addressing. Routing is the main function of network layering. Data link layer implement physical addressing. When a packet passes network boundary, an addressing system is needed to distinguish source and destination. Network layer performs this function. The network layer add a header to the packet of upper layer, includes the logical address of sender as well as receiver. And then router is used for to switch the packets to the final destination in the interconnection network. It is called as network layer. Next one is data link layer. So it is we are going to access the media means we need a data link layer. It is responsible for transmitting frames from one node to another node, and then it transforms the physical layer to a reliable link, making it an error-free link to upper layer. And the functions of data link layer is framing and physical addressing, flow control, error control, and then access control. Framing is used to receive from network layer is divided into manageable data units called frame. And then physical address is called when frames are to be sent to different LAN. The data link layer add a header to the frame to define sender or receiver. And then flow control is used to when the rate of data transmitted and the rate of data reception by receiver is not same actually, some data may be lost. And then error control is data, it incorporates reliability to the physical layer by adding mechanism to detect and retransmit damaged or lost frames. And then access control, when multiple devices are connected to the same link, the data link layer determines which device has control over the link. And then last one is physical address. So physical address mainly used for binary transmission. So it will be transmitting the wires, connectors, voltage, and data rates. We already seen that the physical layer. So it has a function of physical characteristics of interface, representation of bit, data rate, synchronization of bit. So